What's happening, video land? How are you all tonight? I am coming on after being deep in thought. And for those of you all who maybe have never watched me online, this is Knowledge by Nikki, guys, with 1K. And I am actually here on a Sunday evening after a show. And the show turned out great, and I got a lot of in-depth insight about more people in this industry, and especially barbers. I don't think I've ever had as many barbers in the show as I actually had. And let me tell you what I've discovered. We're really in bad shape is what I've discovered. And when I say really in bad shape, guys, I'm not sure, guys, what this industry is going to look like in 10 years. I'm really not sure. I'm here in the hotel, guys, and I've been just sitting in here pondering and just trying to figure out, what is this industry going to look like in 10 years? Where are we going to be? Because this is what I've discovered, guys. We have problems in many areas, but the one area we probably have the most problems and the most issues is actually the area of money. It's the area of figuring out how to make this money that we're making work. How to make this money that we're making not seemingly disappear by the end of the month, not even the year. I am really feverishly going into this money makeover, and not to steal Dave Ramsey's thing, because that's his thing, but I am really trying hard to get my industry, and I don't even want to say my industry, because let me tell you, last week I was a keynote speaker for a conference in Minnesota, and I had personal trainers, I had people that do event planning and event coordinating, that these are their own businesses. I had all these people that they basically are in the same position we're in. They don't get a check. They are not going anywhere getting hourly wages or punching a clock or getting a salary and knowing that as long as they show up and halfway do their job, they're going to get paid. These are people that are in the same position that we are in. They're making money from client to client and trying to figure out how to do the next thing and build the next thing and the next thing. And let me tell you what's happening. They're suffering with the same issues, and it's breaking my heart, though, because of in my industry, I love my industry. And one thing that does set us a little bit apart from those industries that maybe also don't get a check and work similarly to us is that these industries actually are not recession proof. They're not the type of industries that we know if a person does not go to the gym, they still gonna get their hair done. Or if a person does not have some type of event where they require some type of planning, they're still gonna get their hair done. We are in a recession-proof industry, guys, that people are still going to show up even when they may not quite have the money. They may not be as often, but they will come. And so I'm looking at our industry and saying, you know what? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand why the thing that we suffer or lack the most in is the area that we put the least amount of learning time. And I don't understand it. I need one of y'all on this video to help me understand, why is it the thing that we suffer most, the thing that we give the most of our time to figure out how to fix? You know, to me, it almost is like if you go to the doctor and you tell him that, doctor, I've been having a really, really bad headache and it won't go away. I got these migraines, and, you know, and he gives you something that says like it's an antacid. You in your mind would be like, an antacid ain't got nothing to do with what I told him is the problem. You would expect something that directly fixes the problem that you know you're having. And I'm struggling with understanding the lack of the connection. And I'm talking about people that are spending money. They are actually saying that I know this is messed up. I know this thing is what I need fixed, but they're not understanding how and where to put their money and their time into what's needed to fix it. So now, one thing I do understand, we're broad people. We're creative people who believe that when we get in a financial jam, that what we need to do is create. I understand that 1000%. The problem is every time you create something that requires you to work harder, it does just that. It requires you to work harder. And then you're like, I'm tired. I don't want to have to keep building my income by me having to slave to another task or to increase my hours in the existing task or whatever it is. And I'm just really trying to figure out what I need to do to help us make the connection to building on what we have first before we go introducing all these other things to the equation that just make us have to work harder. So what I'm doing is I'm really dedicating my time, my energy, my resources to really learning more about how creative people need to be influenced, as well as learning what all I need to tell you to do. I realize everybody's not going to get it the first time, maybe not the second, maybe not even the third. But what I do not understand is how you put no energy into the thing that has you the most depressed, that has you where you can't sleep at night, the thing that keeps you from moving forward, which is the lack of financial resources. And I will say this until the day I die. Money does matter, guys. It matters. You have to care about the things that you're getting paid, the money that you get paid for the services that you provide. You have to care about what happens to it once you get it in your hand. We don't come into this world knowing nor understanding, most of us, about finances. It's something you have to learn. It's something you have to intentionally learn. You're not going to haphazardly run into a book or accidentally sit into a class that's going to teach you about your money. You have to seek it out. Whether it's in the form of a book, whether it's in the form of you trying to get somebody to help you. I don't care how you do it, but you're going to have to be more diligent and more intentional, meaning everyone that's listening and watching me, you're going to have to be more intentional about what you do to protect, preserve, and sustain yourself for your financial future. And so let me tell you, I will be at Mentorship Miami, which is this Friday. I want to say that's April 23rd. I am doing a class. My classes at that particular event, they do extremely well. People come there to learn. They intentionally come there to learn this stuff. So the producer of this show has afforded me the opportunity to actually do an additional. Now, this is a hands-on, or what we call an interactive workshop. I'm doing an additional workshop before the conference actually starts. So the conference is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and it is a great conference for any of you all that are really serious about growing your life spiritually, professionally, and every other way. And I handle the financial part. If you are anywhere near Miami, whether you're going to the conference or not, I will be at the Hilton Blue Lagoon, Miami Airport. You need to be there to see me. The class is $199. It's cheap because I charge way more than that when I do it privately. It's $199. It is Friday from, I want to say 5:30 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, this is before the conference starts. I know a lot of you all, if you're planning on already being there, which I believe most of the people who attend that conference get there either Thursday night or Friday morning, you need to come see me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put online, you can pay for it online. It's $199, y'all, $200 stinking dollars. You can pay for that class. We're going to be together for it's either 3 or 4 hours. We're going to be together for that amount of time, and I'm going to teach you 3 of the most crucial things that I believe you need to learn about your money. And that is, you need to start tracking your money quarterly. I'm going to teach you how to read your money in quarters, because you got slow quarters, you got busy quarters, and you obviously have in-between quarters. You're going to need to understand how to store up for some of you all that saw that video that I did. If you know that the summer is slow for you, and the summer is the third quarter of the year, which would be, let me see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. I have a lot of you telling me that third quarter is slow. And guess what happens, guys? You gotta double up, or you gotta store up, or you gotta do something a little more intentional your second quarter at least, so that you can actually pad that, cushion that blow from the third quarter. But the only way you can fix that problem is you have to know where it's broken. So I'm going to teach you how to read your money in quarters. The same way that corporate does. They actually read their money and know how they need to shift based off of what they did quarterly. Okay, so it's called a 3-month challenge. And I've actually, for some of you all that may have done it, I've kicked it up a notch, and I got some extra stuff that go along with it to really get down and in depth with what you need to understand. So if you want to sign up for this, I'm going to have online, because you need to come prepared with some stuff. You need to have some stuff that you're going to be prepared with, so that I can make sure that you get this. So you can't just come with a pad and a piece of paper. You're going to have to bring some reports and all this other stuff. Then I'm going to teach you all how to create a budget. Let me tell you what happens. The reason most of us fall into these situations where, yeah, we looked at that 1099K if you have Square, or if you have PayPal. But the problem is, you look at that 1099K, that's the actual form that they give you to file on your taxes at the end of the year that states what you made. You look at that and it'll say you made like 160, but you like, where's that? I ain't see it. Where's that 160 at? Because I ain't see nothing. And then what ends up happening is, in your mind, you're like, oh my God, I mean, where's the money? I'm still robbing Peter to pay Paul. It says I made 160, but where is it? The next thing that I'm going to do now, this particular class has 8 segments to it, but obviously in 4 hours, we can't teach all 8. So I'm going to teach the ones that I think are the most important to you. We have to learn how to create a budget, guys. Do you all even know what a budget is? A budget is where you have buckets. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to play. I'm going to bring a whole bunch of buckets. And you got to decide, and we're going to have buckets and marbles. And if I got 10 marbles in this bucket, and I got 2 marbles in this bucket, and 6 over here, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, what that does is that starts creating me a budget bucket. And that means that if in this bucket over here, I got 6 marbles, and the most I can pay is 6 marbles for somewhere to live, ain't no need of you looking at nothing that costs more than 6 marbles, because that means you can't afford it. That means I have to work within the budget of that bucket. If I got something over here that's for my car, my transportation, because we got to get around some kind of way, that means that I cannot spend more than what's in this bucket for a car. That's gas, insurance, car washes, car note, etc. Okay, that means I need to do some homework. I need to find out what the insurance is before I buy the car. The insurance should determine if you buy the car. I need to think about, okay, how far am I traveling to work? Am I traveling 5 miles, 20, 40, 60? Do I go out of town? Do I take the kids on the other side of town to school? What do I do? I need to see if I'm going to spend $100 a week, $200 a week, $300. I have gotten people that have literally told me, based off of the miles that they travel to work, that they are spending $700 a month on gas. That's insane to me. I would get rid of that car immediately. I would have never bought it though. These are the things that I have to get us to understand, guys, because you don't get a check. When you don't get a check, you cannot live with your money like it's infinite. You cannot spend it like you got some reserve somewhere, because you don't. Take it from a person who has had 9 surgeries. I know what it means to be off all the way from 2 to 10 weeks. If you don't do right, it is the difference in having somewhere to live and being homeless. So we have got to do things different. So I'm going to teach you how to establish a personal budget and a business budget. Okay. And then we got to obviously put amounts in that budget, or percentages of what our overall, and I don't do gross income. I do net. Gross means nothing to me. I don't care if you made $500,000. I don't care if you made $1 million. If you're spending 50% of that million on things that you have to buy in order to sustain that million, then realistically, we got to make a budget off of $500,000. We can't make and that honestly, Not even really that, because part of that budget has to be the percentage based off of where you rank for what you pay in taxes. What percentage? 16.3, 22, whatever it is. If you're married but single, if you got kids, all of that matters, because whether you don't pay Sam now, and I know some of y'all ducking and dodging, but you're going to have to pay Sam later. You're going to have to pay him. And when you start wanting to do some real stuff, where you got to give real documents, you got to have on there that you actually made some real money and that you paid Uncle Sam his. So actually, your net income is considered before taxes. So that means your net income is before your tax dollars. So really, that $500,000, depending on what you got to write off and what all you got going on, could be cut in half again. So you running around here talking about you made 7 figures, but no, you didn't. Because all you really got when the smoke clears is $250. But yet you got a 7-figure lifestyle. That's how we end up broke. That's exactly how we end up broke. And so these are the things that I'm going to be focusing on. We got to know what our money is looking like from quarter to quarter. We got to know what our budget is. We have to know these things. We got to know business budget. I need this, that. Personal budget. I need this, that. I'm also going to give you some information and some pearls on how you can quit mixing your money. You cannot keep mixing your money. You can't keep paying for business stuff out of your personal account and vice versa. You spend all this money trying to get incorporated. What difference do it make if you operating like a sole proprietor? You might as well save your money, not have to keep renewing every year, and just stay a sole proprietor if that's how you're going to operate. So I'm going to give you some things that I think will help you to be able to separate your business from personal. You won't keep robbing from your business to pay for personal stuff, especially stuff that you don't need. And let me tell you what's amazing. The things and the tips that I'm going to give you in this class, I pray you all are taking it. It would just be amazing if I saw you there, because I've done it before. And I'm doing some at the conference too. I'm actually doing more of these 3-4 hour sessions. But I'm doing a session on Friday, August 23rd, in that evening at the Hilton Blue Lagoon Airport, Miami, for people who are coming to the conference early and y'all just ain't got nothing to do on Friday. Come see me, because we've had to turn people away because the classes get full after that. So if you're going to be at Mentorship Miami, you need to be there, okay? Then last but not least, guys, you heard that statement, paying yourself. You got to pay yourself. I don't care if it's $5. Trust me when I say it is not easy, because it took me forever to do it too. But there are some disciplines that will come with you learning how to pay yourself. And this is one suggestion I will give you. This one for free, y'all. If you want to really get into where you can start paying yourself and putting your money in these different buckets where you're saving for, I don't care if it's a travel bucket, you like to travel, if it's a kid's college bucket, I don't care what it is. Your best bet then, money you're saving that you know you don't want to touch, you need to put it at another bank. You need to put it at a bank that you don't go to all the time. And the best bank to put it at is an online bank. You get better percentages with your interest-bearing accounts, that you can get better percentages because they don't have the overhead. Put it in an online bank. I know it seems a little weird. You kind of feel strange with your money being somewhere else, but you need to put it in an online bank. They got many of them. And a lot of them have good yields on your money just sitting there instead of your money just sitting. Have it where it's automatically transferred. As soon as you get, if all your money comes through Square, most of it, Square, Stripe, PayPal, your bank, however, if it's processed, most of us take a lot of credit cards, have it automatically transferred. $100 here, $50 there. Have it go in these buckets and have it transferred so that you don't even see it. When you pull up your normal checking account or the money that you use all the time, you got this dashboard and you're not even seeing all that stuff. You got to intentionally go online to that bank and to see where that money is. That's what you need to do. Because if you see it, it's very easy to transfer from one account to the other and like, oh, I need a couple dollars over here. And then your savings start going down and all kinds. These are discipline, guys, that I'm going to help you. Hey, I was raggedy like the rest of y'all, and I did it wrong, then did it right, then did it wrong, then right. And I can't do it wrong no more. I can't. I'm too old for that. I cannot continue to live not knowing when and if ever I'll be able to back up from this chair. I cannot continue to do that. A lot of you all watching me, you want to transition into different aspects of your life where you're able to have more choices, but you're not going to be able to do it if you're not being better stewards and more conscious about your money. And that is something you have to intentionally do. You have to go to classes, read a book. You have to go places where they are teaching you money principles. You got to try some stuff. You got to stop fronting. You got to stop. This is something I do. And it's a real awkward. It's even awkward for me to do it, but it's going to be more awkward for you to be in class. I have done things like this. If I'm sitting in more of a private class and I feel like I can be really honest with these people and it's in love, it's just us, I'll say something to the women like, okay, everybody who has a designer bag, I need you to put on the table. And it's probably at least 60% of the class. And I'll ask them, I'll say, okay, first I ask, how old is the bag? And they may say 2, 3 years old. And then I'll say, okay, how much the bag cost you? They'll say 3, 4, I done had $700. I done had $1,000. I will tell them, and I'll say this in love, and I get real close to them. I say, if you don't have at least 3 times what that bag cost in your bank account, checking, savings, somewhere, then you can't afford that bag. And that's what I tell them. Then you can't afford it. You fronting. Now, if you say it was a gift, okay, I'll take that. But we still walking around here with stuff trying to make it appear that we're successful, and we're not. We're not successful by any definition of the word. I understand everybody has a different idea of success, but we're walking around with bags and shoes with red bottoms. And look, I'm going to tell you, I like nice stuff too. I ain't got no problem with the car you drive. I don't care. Beautiful. But make sure you can afford it. Make sure that every dime you have is not on your back, is not in your driveway or in your garage. Make sure you ain't pulling up to something that you renting, or better yet, the government paying for it, but yet you got designer bags. And yes, I said it, and I mean that. There you go, sell them. If you can't afford it, I need you to dim that a little bit. Get yourself in. You know the beautiful thing about getting your money right? It's so beautiful when you get your money to the point where you actually can buy this. You don't even want it. You don't even want it. You're like, girl, I ain't spend no $700 on no bag. For what? And I can. And I'm not. You like, I wish I would spend. I ain't paying no $1,000 for. I remember back in the day having $1,200 bags, shoes, and I actually can buy it. I don't want it. I want that $1,200 growing somewhere. I want to put that $1,200 into learning what I need to do to get some staff that ain't crazy in my shop. I need somebody to help me with a staffing program. I am working, and when I say I lose sleep, I don't lose sleep over much, y'all. I sleep real good every night. But I lose sleep over this sometimes because I don't get it. I don't get how the problems that we have the most, we put the least energy into fixing it. I understand change is scary. I understand that sometimes we're just fearful. And let me tell you what I also understand. That when you start fixing your life, as Oprah says, you got to own it. You got to own that thing. You got to admit that you've been messing up. You can't blame it on your mama, your daddy, your ex this, or the baby daddy. You really, you can try. Now, I'm not saying there are not contributing factors to what it is that we do in the positions we end up in. I'll take me. I remember when I divorced my first husband. He left me with $250,000 in debt. And that's the way I used to say it, is he left me. No, he didn't. Because the decisions that I made that got me in that debt, I was able to say, you know what, I ain't doing this no more. And I cut it off. He didn't make me do nothing. The stuff that I allowed him to do was just that. I let him do it. And then to add insult to injury, when I left that situation, because I still want to look like this situation hasn't crippled me, guess what I did then? I continue to try to keep this facade like this divorce hadn't crippled me, which partially it did because of my poor decisions. And so now I'm making more bad decisions on top of the ones that's already jacked up because I want to keep wearing this face and seeming like I ain't lost a step. When I got tired of fronting and when I got tired of saying, you know what, I did lose a step, but it's okay because God is going to allow me. I said, you know what, I'm getting ready to back up out this situation. I'm getting ready to get rid of this, that, and the other. I don't care what people think. I'm getting ready to dim the light all the way down and simplify my life, streamline it, do only what I can afford so I can rebuild my life the right way. And it was the best time of my life. Because for one, now I've always been pretty authentic. But for once in my life, the first time I can say that I lived my life 1000% based off of what worked for me, what didn't work. If the whole group was going to a concert and the tickets was $200, right now that ain't in my budget. It ain't in my budget for me to pay $200 for a ticket. And I didn't care. Okay, I'm going to sit at home. I'll holler at y'all. See y'all tomorrow. And I didn't feel bad about it. Okay, these are the things that you're going to have to figure out how to do. That means I don't care if everybody going left. If going left is going to put you in the hole, then you don't go. You can't, whatever. This is something, the first thing you're going to have to do to get yourself on a better financial track, you're going to have to own it. You're going to have to be accountable, responsible. You're going to have to say it was me. You're going to have to get out of victim mode. I don't care what somebody did. If you want to fix this situation, y'all owners, you ain't got no staff. Your money is just all over the place. You robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're debt heavy. You got to say, I'm living raggedy and I'm not going to keep living like this. You have got to make that decision. Until you do, you're going to keep being like the hamster in the wheel and you're going to get old. And look, I had a girl, one of my first coachees, and I won't say it broke my heart, but it kind of did, but she trying to fix it. She was in my class. I'm here at Bronner Brothers. She was in my class and she came in early and I hadn't talked to her in a minute. And the comment she made to me was, she showed me the x-ray on her phone, where she knew she always had scoliosis, but it now has progressed to the point where her spine is, when you see that spine curve, it's, you ain't got to know what it is to know it not the way it's supposed to be. Her spine is curved in a way where I'm like, before she told me, she just showed me the picture. And I'm like, good Lord. And I guess in about 6 or 7 inches of her vertebrae, she got extreme arthritis. Now she's in her 17th year doing hair. And she's like, Nikki, I need your help. I need you to tell me, what do I need to do? Because the doctor already told me there is no way I'm going to be able to stand up like this for the next 15, 20 years. What are you going to do when you get that report? What are we going to do now? What we going to fast track? So now she's in radical mode, and she was one from back. She was one that I coached, and she trusted me before I even did this for real. Way back when, 20 years ago. So I said, I'm going to help you, and I'm just going to help her. I ain't asking for no money. I'm going to help her because she believed in me before I even did this. So I said, let me help you fix this. So she's gazelle focused, as Dave Ramsey says. She like, I need to do this. I need to do that. I already got her to downsize the whole salon thing. I told her, you don't need no salon. Go over here to Suite and do this and that so you can get yourself together and whatever. So now we're going to help her. But what if that happened to you? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do if the doctor told you got scoliosis and it's progressing at a rate that maybe in the next 2 years you ain't going to be able to do this? That means you got 24 months to get it together. That's what you got to do. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I'm trying, God knows, I said, God, just please give me the wisdom to know what to say to people. I'm not any longer under the naive notion, which I was for a long time, that if I say it, that you just going to get it that day. I get it. Timing is everything. Some people ain't ready to change, ready to shift. I understand fear grips us all, but I'm going to tell you what Seth Godin, who is a marketing genius, if you read, check out some of Seth Godin's book. He says it in almost every book, do it afraid. Do it afraid. He said it all the time. I don't care. Do it afraid. Fine. You scared? Do it anyway. What you got to lose? So I'm going to be in a lot of places, guys, because I've never felt so compelled to do anything in my life like hard, like this hard. I like, God, I know you gave me something. I know now it's not a fluke that you allowed me to mess up so much and to literally feel what it means to fix it. And to be, I ain't telling y'all what I think. I'm telling y'all what I know. I lived it. I did it. I got the t-shirt. I got the whole outfit. I'm telling y'all, if you want to fix this, you're going to have to do it on purpose. I will be at Mentorship Miami. That's where I'll be. I'll be there. This is one of many. I will be there this Friday. I'm actually in Atlanta now. I'm leaving here. Listen to this, guys. I'm leaving here and I'm flying to San Juan tomorrow afternoon. For those of you all that are not aware, I'm doing what's called a Money Does Matter conference in San Juan, Puerto Rico next April. You can go on my website and see it right there. I now have people, this has taken a life of its own, and I'm fine with that. So I said, I'll tell you what, not only have I dedicated a conference for those of you all coming this year, it's the Salon Owner Strategies, but I also have now dedicated a conference that's just about your money. Y'all want to learn about investments? You want to really learn about real estate? You want to really learn why it's better for you to own the building you in than maybe rent it? You want to really learn what that is? You want to learn what it means to have these different passive aspects of income that deal with you understanding how money moves and how money works? That's what this conference is for, y'all. It's called Money Does Matter, and it's for everybody who in a business that they don't get a check. If you do nails, if you do hair, if you got a boutique, I don't care what you do. If you don't get a check and you got to not only create the system, work the system, manage the system, sustain the system, this is for you. I'm bringing everybody. I got people coming from everywhere, and I have people that are coming to present that are people that are teaching. Look, I'm going to be a student because I don't profess to know everything. I'm like, I know what I know, but I'm going to sit there and learn too, because it does matter. There is something I'm starting, guys, and if you all are interested in knowing about more of this, I have a Facebook channel that's called Money Does Matter. It's a private channel. It's $99 a month. That's all it costs. $99 a month. I do videos all the time. I have different people come on. They give you all these tips on your money. It's better than a YouTube channel, guys. And because money does matter. And the first thing we're going to start with is called Passion for Profit. And I think because we're passionate about what we do, we don't think about how it still has to pay the bills. I don't care. Okay, fine. You love doing hair, but you still got to do it in a way where it is financially productive. You cannot just get up every day and do hair and because the client gave you a sad sob story, okay, don't worry about it. Don't charge them what you should charge them. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times God has literally put on my heart, let her have it. But she knows the difference. She knows that was a God move. This ain't regular. This ain't regular now. Don't expect this. But God told me that I need to give you this. And so I'm going to do that. You need to always allow yourself to be in a space where if it's about God moving through you and he says, give this to this person, then you give it to him. But it needs to be a clear distinction between how business is supposed to go and how I'm just doing this now because it's a whole sidebar thing here. You all don't want to charge them. Look, they go everywhere. They ain't giving away no money at their job. If they work an extra 15 minutes, they want whatever that amount is, that is 15 minutes of what they get paid an hour. They want it. They get raises. If they don't get raises, they complain if they don't get their annual raises or their 3-year raises or however they're supposed to get them. But we are steady letting our passion, okay, I love hair. But I got to get my just due. Period. You got to pay me or I ain't doing it. And it ain't no negotiation. This is what it costs if you want me to do it. And so I would love for you all, go on my Facebook page. You can sign up right there. It's called Money Does Matter. It's my private Facebook group. It's basically a subscription group. It's $99 a month, and I'm going to give you some pearls on there. Because I promise y'all, I'm like, before I leave this life, you know what I learned from Simon Sinek? Simon Sinek is one of the top speakers and New York Times best-selling authors right now. And he's a young dude, about 45 years old, just wise. Somebody that wise at 45 is just, I love to even hear him talk. And he talks about all the time what it means to find your purpose and to find that just cause. One thing I have accepted, I now know, I had no idea God was going to take me this direction. Who knew, right? But I now understand that this to me is a just cause worth dying for. And let me tell you why I say that. Most just causes, once you find that thing that you know you were born to do, you probably will not live to see it come fully into fruition. That is what a just cause is. A just cause is something that your position, your purpose, your job is to just move the needle a little bit. Just move it. Just get enough people to understand that they need to make some change. You become a change agent. I just want to affect change. I want to see people not be in situations where they're 60 and 70 years old and they gotta work and they gotta stand up behind a chair with varicose veins and need the hip surgery done and carpal tunnel and tendonitis and ulcerated legs. And I have seen all of this, guys, but this is what happens when we don't create choices for ourselves. This is what happens, guys. So come see me. I will be, if you haven't already been, and the class, as I learn, I share. So the class keeps getting greater. I keep putting more stuff in it. Now, mind you, this whole program, it has way more than this. Oh, and I was talking about paying yourself. I'm going to teach you how to save 10 grand in a year and not feel it. You won't feel it. I have people coming up to me. I did this video some years ago, about 2 years ago. And it was showing people how they can take these little simple dollar amounts, $7, $14. It wasn't no money. And how at the end of the year, they'll have a little over 10 grand and you will not feel it. I don't care how much money you make. I have people that come up to me like, girl, I saved 13 grand. I ain't never saved a dime in my life. And I promise you, I ain't made a lot of money and I don't even know where it came from. I'm going to teach you how to do that. Paying yourself also is partly saving. Okay, as well as saving for other things. This is the stuff that I'm going to teach you. Now, this class has a whole lot more in it with the 8-hour class. But you come to the Money Matters conference, which is in San Juan. This class is only a piece of it. So I'm teaching you 3 things out of this class, which is the 3-month challenge, which is the saving $10,000 in a year, and which is creating a budget. There are going to be some things you got to bring, guys. So when you sign up online, I'm actually going to change it tonight. When you sign up online, I'm going to put down there the stuff you need to come prepared with. You need to come prepared with stuff like statements and this. And oh yeah, I'm going to make you're going to have to print some stuff off. So I'd rather you come prepared with it so we can get right into the class, because I'm going to help you figure this thing out. But I talk about everything. I talk about creating client cycles. This is the larger program. I talk about actually understanding how much a client is worth to you every year. When you got a weekly client and a sister and her grandmom and all these people come and she getting on your nerves, and you think about if you fire her, that means her mama not going to come and her kids not going to come and her sister's not going to come. You need to know what one regular client is worth to you in a year. If they come every week and on average, every week they're spending about $100, $200 with you, depending on what they're getting, you need to know every time that you fire them, and I'm not saying you don't have to fire them because sometimes you do, but you need to know that client, that a weekly client is worth $5,602 to you. You need to know that. That way, every time you need to actually maybe build your income a little bit and not do a whole lot of extra, guess what you can do? You can simply just convert a bi-weekly to a weekly. You just gave yourself a raise. You can do services that require them to come back on a more regular basis. That's intentional. Now they were worth only $3,720 to you, and your weekly was worth $5,280 to you. Now you just turned them into a $5,280 client. You just gave yourself a $2,000 raise. Did you know that? You just gave yourself a $2,000 raise. That's what you did. Okay? These are things, guys. I need you to hear me. I need you to hear me say that I'm here to help you. Whether you sign up for coaching, whatever. But I'm telling you, I'll be a Mentorship Miami. $200 class. That's it. This is on Friday. Friday the 23rd of August. I will be there teaching this class. $200 stinking dollars. If you're going to be in Miami, if you ain't even coming to the conference, I've already been given word by the person that produces this show that if they just want to come to your class, I have 30 seats and I don't have a lot of seats left. So if you're coming to this class or if you're coming to Miami, you need to be to see me on Friday. And I really would like you to go to the whole conference. It's going to be some awesome things there. I'm also teaching a color class, guys. Something that started this whole journey for me. She asked me would I also teach my Color Me Crazy segment. I'm going to be teaching you some things. And color for me, guys, was the way that I leveraged my business so that I can get up out the shop, so that I can make more, do less, spend less time. It was color that started this whole money thing for me. I said, look, I'm tired of doing all these heads. I need to do some color. I need to do something where I can do less people in a short amount of time and yet not cut the money. So Color Me Crazy, which I birthed in 2011, has allowed me to do amazing things from a financial standpoint. Color Me Crazy now has products. We got semi-permanents. We got our permanents coming out. We got shampoos, conditioners, bond builders, stabilizers, all this kind of stuff. All this stuff will be at that conference as well. We're going to have it all there. So I'm also going to be teaching a color class. Now that's during the conference. You got to go to the conference now if you want to see that. But if you just want to learn the money part, come see me. Go on Knowledge by Nikki with 1K. Y'all keep putting 2Ks in my name. You're not going to find me. Knowledge by Nikki, NIKI.com is short for Nikita. I just dropped the TA. That's where you need to go. Check it out. Okay? And then hopefully I'll see you at the Money Does Matter conference, which is in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'm leaving tomorrow on a 125 flight to go there, get all that squared away, and just chill for a couple days because my brain is tired. And so don't none of y'all call me. Don't call me in the next few days. I'm not going to answer. Okay? I'm cutting all the phones off. Yes, I am. So y'all don't call me. Okay? I'll holler at y'all in Miami. I need to see you. I need to help you figure this out. There are many other parts to this program. I'm going to be teaching you those 3 main parts that I believe will help you get the other stuff. So if y'all at Mentorship Miami, which is at the Hilton Blue Lagoon Airport, it is from the 24th, actually, 24th, 25th, and 26th. So that's coming up this week. I will be teaching even before the conference. I'll be teaching that Friday, which is the 23rd. I'll be or something like that. I think it's the 23rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'll be teaching this Friday from 5. I think she has me from 5 to 8:30 or 9 or something like that. But for those of y'all coming in, you're coming in early, come see me. Come see me. $200. Book your ticket. Buy your ticket. You'll get your stuff online. You'll know what you need to bring. Come prepared. We're going to chomp it out. We're going to make sure you get this thing. Then hopefully we can, plug you into some programs that'll take you further. Again, if you want to learn this stuff on a regular basis, I'm actually in the process of trying to start an investment group, a salon industry investment group. I didn't know it was so much involved to actually establish an investment group because they want to make sure you ain't running no Ponzi scheme and all that. So there's a lot of governmental things that I have to comply with. I may even have to get something like my Series 7's license or have someone that's partnered with me with that securities license. It's all kind of stuff that goes into that I now know has to happen. But these are things that I want to build a community where everyone, and that will happen through this Facebook group. It's a private group. You can go on my website. You'll see it. If you want to join, it's $99 for the whole month. You get all kind of good stuff, right? I want us to be able to have a community that you don't only learn from me, but you learn from others. Because others can also teach you what not to do, not just what to do. So this is something, guys, if you all are coming to the conference, please come see me. I need to see you. I need to know that you are intentionally trying to change your financial direction. Because, I've dealt with people dying that I loved. I've dealt with physical pain that I couldn't get rid of immediately. I've dealt with a lot of different things in my life that may have made me lose a little sleep, but I can tell you that nothing made me lose more sleep than financial issues. Nothing made me more depressed, at least on the inside, than money issues, than just not knowing where it's going to come from. And it even got worse for me when I'm making money and I'm still struggling. It just is something, and anybody that knows what I'm talking about, financial stress will kill you. It is probably, in my book, in my estimation, it's the worst stress there is. It's financial stress. It just doesn't get any worse. Like I said, I done lost houses, cars. I done been through all that. And I just remember being in those positions where worried about how things were going to get paid, worried about how I was going to make all of this work, just night after night after night, worried about the smoke being clear and the facade and the mask coming off because I've been living raggedy and now stuff is so bad I can't hide it, and people gonna see the real you. They gonna see the real me. They gonna see that I didn't always have it all together, and now I gotta allow that part of my life to be exposed. And That is, it's stress in a way that ain't no pill gonna make it go away unless you just take one to make you sleep. But then you gotta wake up, and the thing is, these stresses, they gotta be handled. You gotta face them head on, deal with them, and fix them. And that is a decision you have to make on purpose, intentionally. It will not happen any other way. And let me tell you something, just because you don't open the bill don't mean that the problems are not still going to happen. Just because you push the mail over there because I can't pay it no way, ain't no need of me opening it doesn't mean that the problems are still not going to grow. That algae, that fungus is still going to grow. It's not going anywhere, guys. And that's the thing about not understanding and how and reading our money and understanding how to do that is you can run away from it all you want. It's not going to change. It's not going to get better. You cannot pay Sam all you want. The longer you don't pay him, the more risk you're going to be in trouble. And the more money you're going to have to come up with. And the less likely Sam is going to be to accommodate you. So you got to face money issues, guys. You got to face them head on. You got to look that like a deer in a headlight. You got to look that thing in the eye, look that devil and say, you know what? I will not let this consume me. I will not let this be the end of my life. But just like you paying for cutting, coloring, weaving, and all wig making and trichology and this and cut parties and hair battles and I ain't nothing wrong with none of that. I'm in the industry. I get it. But just like you paying for purses and bags and shoes and cars that we can't afford, and just like we paying for all that stuff, you are going to have to intentionally spend some money, put some skin in the game for learning how to be better stewards over your money. There is no way around it. It ain't nothing you just gonna know. You're gonna have to sit in front of somebody or a group or a show or a class and be open and say, I don't know what to do with this and I need some help. You're gonna have to do it. There's no way around it. Okay? Or just like I said in the beginning, or I'm really worried about where this industry is gonna be. I'm worried about black people. If you really just want to be honest, yes, I am. I deal with everybody. I got Asian friends and Ukrainian friends, and I mean friends. I'm not saying that loosely. I got people I can call them on the dime and say, I need you. I need you to help. I need you. And they're there, and they ain't all my color. But let me tell you something. Us black people, and I can say this because I'm one of you all, we have got to quit being at the bottom. We have got to quit only being the borrowers and not the lenders. And that's Proverbs. We have got to quit only thinking of buying things that are depreciable and have no value and no meaning. And you're sick of them 5 minutes later. And then you got to go get another one. We have got to quit letting that be. Living hood rich is what I call it. We have got to stop. If we don't, I'm telling you, people I'm so tired of passing the bucket for funerals, and I am sick of it. And I'm sick of it because we are not broke. We are not where we don't have money to pay for a freaking $10,000 policy that costs us $10 a month. We are not where we can't do that. We are choosing to not make it a priority. We are choosing where we put our values. And I get it. I didn't grow up in no family that knew nothing about money. I didn't grow up in the family. But I knew I didn't want to live that way. I've watched enough other people to say, I don't want that to be me. So what do I need to do? And that requires you sometime, if you're proud, you're going to have to eat that. God hates pride. You're going to have to say, you know what? I'm going to have to humble myself. Find somebody you trust. Find somebody you know that ain't going to be condescending. They ain't here to judge you. Find somebody that's going to help you. I don't care if it's discreetly. I don't care how you get it. But if you need some help, you need to get it. And you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to put yourself in the place to ask for it and to get it. Or your financial future is going to be damned, guys. And you can't keep working and slaving and doing more hours because you got to get old. And that gets tiresome. The answer to, and don't get me wrong, I believe in you may have to add to the income. But if that's the only thing you're thinking, how long you going to keep just adding to the pot? It's only 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. How long you just going to keep adding more hours on your roster? It's only 24. You gonna work 22 of them? What are you gonna do? So we got to start leveraging what we have. We got to start embracing new concepts. We got to start thinking like every other business in the world. Look, I'll tell people all the time, there's a Menards, which is a home improvement store like Home Depot in all of Chicago and some other states. Menards in there, they got full grocery. They got everything but produce and meat. They got frozen stuff. I guess they say, look, you in here all day anyway waiting to get your paint mixed, and you in here looking for stuff to build this and build that. You might get hungry. Look, you can go and get your groceries while you're here. They even got sense enough. These are businesses that by all accounts seem to be sustaining, but even they got sense enough to know we got to add some stuff to the pot. We got to add some stuff to the pot. You can know the days of having one stream of income is over. The days of only doing one thing and thinking that's going to sustain you. And I love hair too, but I understand I got to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I got to make stuff happen. I told them in the class today, you got these rooms in your shop you ain't using, then become part of Amazon's program where you can have your drop-off center. Them people don't want to take that stuff back and bring it back. They can drop it off at your spot. You get paid by Amazon. Have them people come to you and pick up their packages. In this day and age, it's too many ways to make money. I don't want to hear that. Look, I signed my car up to Turo. For y'all that ain't heard of Turo, Turo is an app. I'm paying $100, $200 to be parking at parking structures every time I travel. I travel too much. I said, why am I paying for my car? And I got a Town and Country, a Chrysler Town and Country, a nice one. Why am I paying for this joker to sit up here in this airport parking garage and clock up money when all I got to do is call Turo? I come up here, they come get my truck, they rent my stuff out for $160 a day. I get paid, I'm gone anyway. When I come back, I didn't got a check. I didn't got a check for a car that's sitting doing nothing anyway, but clocking up money. I am trying to get people who don't get a check. I won't even say it's just salons anymore because it's expanded way past that. I'm trying to get us to broaden our thinking. I know you love doing hair. Do that. That can be the majority of what you do, but you're going to have to think bigger than that. You're going to have to think bigger than that or you're going to struggle. That's the world we in today. Why do you think you hear so many people talking about multiple revenue streams and passive income? Because I'm going to tell you, this one of them times, you broke because you want to be. You ain't broke because you got to be. You broke because you don't want to do nothing extra. That means you're going to have to exert, you're going to have to exert some extra energy, mental, physical, but exert it in a way that ain't going to kill you. It ain't a fluke that Uber and Lyft and Instacart and all this stuff. No, that ain't no fluke. Somebody just said, you know what? We're going to take this stuff we already got and we're going to make some money with it. You can actually go online. There are YouTube videos that tell you about all these different things. Amazon Flex and all this other stuff that you can deliver Amazon's packages. You sitting at home anyway, you ain't doing nothing. You got these salons with chairs, ain't being used. They got something called Chair on Demand. You can make people pay hourly for using your chair, for using a random chair in the shop. Let them work on the days that y'all normally close. Why? We have got to think beyond our talents is what I'm saying. Okay, we got to. Y'all hear me? So sign up. Sign up. Yes, the link for the class on Friday is on my website, knowledgebyniki1k.com. Pay your $199, it's done. I get it on my end. I'm actually getting ready to go online before I go to bed tonight because I'm going to go in Puerto Rico and sit. So I'm going to be up for I'm actually getting ready to record about 6-7 more videos tonight. I said, look, before I take this makeup off and before I get totally unwound, because I ain't putting no makeup on tomorrow, I'm chilling. Before I do all that, let me go ahead and do these videos. I'm in a hotel. I'm still working. I'm actually in like an Airbnb. It's a nice one, too. And I'm here working right around the corner from the convention center. So I'm in here doing what I got to do, and I'm getting ready to make sure that all of that is online. So if you sign up, if you're going to Mentorship Miami, you can obviously come that Friday. If you're not, she already says she don't care. The girl that's over it, Denise Michelle, she says she don't care. You can just come to that class if you want to. Go on knowledgebyniki.com, sign up. I'm going to have everything you need on there. You can just come to the class. They'll have on the front what room it's in and et cetera, et cetera. But this will get you on your way. It'll get you on your way to understanding some of the things you have to do, guys. And look, I'm going to tell you, it ain't a story y'all going to be able to tell me that I probably can't match it or come a little stronger. Like, I don't care. I done been through all that: foreclosure, bankruptcy, divorce, cancer. I done been through all that: walkouts, salon. Look, it ain't nothing. Robbing Peter to pay Paul, writing bad checks. It ain't nothing you can tell me that I ain't tried and didn't get away with. And I said, I can't keep living like this. So what I did, I said, okay, I'm going to fix this, and I'm going to fix it the right way. And I claim every dime, and I pay Sam every dime he got coming to him because I figured out what to do so I don't have to live under the radar. So I don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. And I didn't do anything any different than any of you can do. What I did was I got focused, and I said, I'm not living like this no more. I'm not losing no more sleep. I'm not robbing Peter to pay Paul. I'm not fronting. I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not able to buy that right now. So I'm not. And that's just the end of that. Maybe later. Now, I'm not doing it. I'm not paying that kind of money. I'm not. And it's a beautiful place, guys. I'm telling you. To get to the point where you can't afford it, but you say, I don't have to have it. It's a beautiful thing, guys. You got to want to outlive. You have to want to, your lifestyle has got to be under what you can afford. I'll give you this. There's a guy that I watch on YouTube. His name is Marco something. You all need to subscribe. He's amazing. His page is called Whiteboard Financing. And that's because he do everything on a whiteboard. He did a video the other day. It was profound. And he did some statistical data. Now, I've done this same type of data, and it's about why people are living paycheck to paycheck and what's happening and the percentage of people. And I mean, he broke that thing down. But this is what he said. I'm thinking to myself, shoot, we ain't even living paycheck to paycheck. Some of us, we living client to client, not even paycheck to paycheck. And what he said, something, it was a word I never heard. He said, there is something called lifestyle inflation. And so I listened, I'm thinking, that's an interesting phrase. Basically, all he's saying is every time you make some more money, don't increase your expenditures. Just because you got a raise don't mean now that you got to go buy the bigger car or the bigger house. You at some point are going to have to let your money grow further. And then you can rise up a little bit. But you can't keep going this and then your lifestyle and then this and then your lifestyle and then this. Because what happens is when you live at the top of what you can afford, there's no room for error. There's no room for life stuff. There's no room for anything. And the minute something happens, now you have this downward spiral. I've lived it. I know what it means to have $700, $800, $900 a month car notes. I already know what that means. It's crazy. Now, I wish I would. I don't want a car note, period. Really, to tell you the truth. But I wish I would if I had to have one. I wish I would get a $900. And I think back like, why did I have a $900 car note? If you got to have a $900 car note, that means you probably couldn't afford that car. If you had to pay, if that was a choice. Now, unless you tell me you got $900 in this because you want to pay it off in 2 years, then that's a whole different story. Then I'm with you. You like, I did a $900 car note because I'm going to pay this off in 2 years. Okay, I can roll with you on that. But not $900 for 84 months. That makes no sense. Okay? That means you couldn't afford it. That means we stretch it. You know, when people come tell me, oh, so-and-so just got to do this, I'm like, the only way I'm impressed, did they pay for it? Did they write a check for it? Because if it's just another car note, that's debt to me. It's just debt. Okay? I like nice cars too. I'd had them all. Rover, I'd had all that. And then I said, why? Why? And I ain't got no problem with you having nice cars as long as it is within your budget that I'm going to teach you about when you come to this class. That means if you've allotted 15% of your net income to go towards your transportation, as long as that car don't eat it, and I'm talking about the note, the insurance, the gas, and you can estimate maintenance. Now, hopefully, if you got a new car or newer, it's under warranty. But if it's not, you got to think about maintenance, okay? So if all of that fits within that 15%, you got my blessing. But if it don't, then you're going to end up cutting in. And I'm doing this because budgets are normally made into a pie. If it doesn't, you're going to end up cutting into another budget. Then what you going to do? Now you're cutting into your house budget. Now you're cutting into your savings budget. Now you're cutting into your kids' education bucket. Or if you got a business, now you're dipping over into your business because you done bought something that just cost you too much. And I mean, I know I can go on and on and on about this. But the thing that I need all of us to get is that those of us that have not yet figured it out, because everybody ain't doing poorly with their money, but I'm going to tell you, the people that I see that come to my shows, my classes, my conferences, they are in a bad way. And if you sign up for my coaching, which I got 3 coaching programs, you can go online and see those 2. But if you sign up for my coaching, and I have to actually interview you for coaching, then once you sign up, you got to tell me the truth. Because if I can't help you if you lie to me. I can't help you if you butter it up for me. That's why I sometimes have issues with men coaching them, because they still see me as a girl. And they don't want to show me all of their pitfalls and all of their shortcomings. So when I'm coaching men, y'all don't never tell me the truth. And I have to find out later. And I'm like, dude, why you ain't tell me that, right? So, your own man could really be a challenge. But, okay, tell somebody. If it isn't me, go to somebody to help you fix it. For those of you who do not have it together. Because I know you want to, I call it the option phase. I don't call it retirement. But I know there's going to come a time when you want to have options. And you want to go to work or not go to work. Or you want to go on vacation and not worry, okay, if I take off this 9 weeks, what is that going to do to my entire financial future? Am I still going to have somewhere to live? I know sometimes we want to do that, but we can't. And I'm going to say this before I get off. I went in a salon and I had to do a site visit. With people that coach with me one-on-one, I do site visits. I come to them. And I went into a salon and I actually saw a girl in a full body cast from the breast down. She had a bad car accident. I guess it broke her hip, whatever. And she got one leg up, because I guess the one leg has to stay elevated. It must have been the one that took the most impact. And she's doing hair, guys. And she got people where this is what they're doing. I know you all make it not be able to see me, but they're like this so she can get the front. They're like this. They have to lean into her. They have to sit for 30 minutes uncomfortable, and she has to try to do this, and she's hot. You can tell she's bothered, and she got a stool propped up some kind of way and something else propped up with her leg. And I'm sitting there looking at this, and I'm like, wow. She ain't there because she wanted to be there in no full body cast. She didn't want to be there. She have a choice. And I get it. And the only way we're going to have better choices, guys, we're going to have to do different. And we got to do it on purpose. So y'all come see me. I'm going to be on this mad, crazy tour. And I want you all, my Salon Owners Conference, which is this November. It's not too late. I have a total of 9 seats left. 9. Praise God. 9. Y'all hear me? 9 seats left. This is going to get you on your way. I'm doing a whole money segment there. That'll be the first time I'm doing this separate segment. Money does matter, guys. And then obviously it's San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'm on my way tomorrow to get everything consummated. Take a few days to breathe. It's called Money Does Matter Conference. We talking about 2.5 days of nothing but us talking to you about options and things you need to do to get your money straight when you don't get a check. This is for people who ain't got nobody paying them. You got to figure out how to make the money, save it, invest it, all this other stuff, so that when you get to 50, 60, you got some options. Okay, that's what this conference is for. You can sign up. You can sign up right online, guys. Sign up right online. I got payment arrangements. I got all that. It's next April 28th and 9th. It's the last week in April. And guys, I could say it for 10 hours on here, but I hope you get it. I hope you hear me. Those that are ready to change, let's do it. Those that aren't, all right, I just hope you get there someday, guys. But I'm telling you, money does matter.